Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanfiction. I'm your host, Dennis Patholkis, and this is Watchmen, Season 1, Episode 7, An Almost Religious Awe. Welcome, everybody, to those of you who are here. I think there's two of you lurking around right now. Let me get a little business out of the way first. Before, I'm sorry. I had thought of some stuff that I was gonna say during the show, and it kinda made me laugh, so I've been laughing about it since then. If you like what you see here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you wanna follow me, you can hit the little bell. It's a 50/50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. The best way of doing it is going to my website, suspendedfanimation.com, and taking a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every Monday. It's also on my Facebook page for those of you who still have Facebook. And then if you also still have Facebook, you can go into the group page. There's a Suspended Fanimation group page which you guys can post stuff and talk amongst yourselves. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, I also have a Patreon page, but I don't have any tiers set as of yet. I will at the end of this year, beginning of next year. There we go. So, yes, you read that right. There is no recap this week. It's just going to be review, pretty much. I'll hit some high points of some stuff, but that's about it. So there is going to be spoilers. Spoiler alert! If you have not seen the episode, go and watch the episode. Come on back. This will be a video. You can come on back and comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. So this week we got Angela's memories. Yeah, if you were really high, there were some high points, Pen. There really were. So this week we got Angela's life. Uh, that's what we got a bit of. We also found out a little bit more about what's going on with the Crawfords and what the Seventh Calvary is all about. Um, so I had a realization of what this whole show was about, and it hit me all of a sudden, is that the message being that racist groups never die out, they just change their names. They get called different names, which obviously, if you've been living in modern times, you realize that already. Uh, and that's what Damon Lindoff was trying to get here, was that the Cyclops group had changed their name over to the Seventh Calvary, and the Seventh Calvary is trying to get Dr. Manhattan, um, so that they can get his power. They basically want to destroy him and then get his power. Because he is living in Tulsa as a human. And I'm thinking to myself at this point, I'm like, so the Seventh Cavalry basically is just around to lure Lori as bait for Dr. Manhattan. Is that right? Is that what we're getting at here? Otherwise, why would you yeah, I didn't understand how that was gonna work either. And I'm like, this is kind of a Rube Goldbrickian way of, doing all of this. I really don't know what they were getting at here. Why Lori's here in the first place, why the 7th Cavalry was even doing what they did, why they've even made themselves known. Why, Keen has actually sent Lori there to begin with. Why did he do that? He knows she's going to be investigating this stuff and that she's a good investigator. Is he trying to sway her mind to become a 7th Cavalry person, or which I'm kind of figuring that's what's going to happen, is that somehow Lindoff is going to turn her into a member of the 7th Cavalry, is what's going to happen with Lori. We found out the Looking Glass might still be alive because his body wasn't amongst all the bodies of the 7th Cavalry members that were in his bunker, as Petey found out, Agent Petey. And we also found out that Mrs. Crawford was in on this the entire time and needs to change out the batteries in her damn, 70s remote control if she's going to get that damn trapdoor to work too. And also that Dr. Manhattan is actually Cal. Which is a big what the fuck moment kind of thing, because you're just like, what? He fell in love with Angela and they moved back to Tulsa, and you know, and then I started thinking too that the thing that kind of got me, I'm like, originally Dr. Manhattan was a white guy who turned into a blue guy who's now Cal. And I was thinking, isn't that kind of blackface in a way? Um, yes, I know that's bad, but that was one of the things that popped into my head all of a sudden. And yeah, I'm sorry, I can't take the show seriously anymore. I really can't. Um, there, yes, racism is bad. Uh, it was one of those things that the way the show is handling it though is like a white person writing about racism, which is exactly what's going on. And it's in the most heavy-handed way I have ever seen in my life. It's kind of like having the writers from both Different Strokes and the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, who are all white, by the way, in the same room, and they're writing a very special episode of Watchmen. Uh, Jesus Christ, it's the yeah. I'm sorry. Oh, touch my ass, touch my ass, Arnold, touch my ass. Yes, it's one of those kind of things. And good God, yes, Regina King is a great actress. I don't deny you that, Joe. She's wasted in this show. She really is. She's really wasted in this show. So is Gene Smart. Gene Smart's wasted in this show. And oh, and also using the Watchmen property as it is. You basically wasted the entire property, just to basically say that, racism switches different names and it still remains the same. Racist groups, yeah. We know that. I mean, we see that. We live that every day now. Um, oh, good God. And then Lady True, if you notice, the cavalrymen are actually using Lady True's equipment. Which does that mean that she's working with the cavalry or not? I mean, I know she told Angela the whole thing about that the cavalry are going to trap Dr. Manhattan, but I think the reason why Lady True told Angela this was so that she would release Dr. Manhattan so they could capture him because she's working with the cavalry. And also, we go to Ozymandias, who's been in a year-long trial and found guilty, whatever the hell that means. Uh and if we notice, his message was truncated out on Titan because he's on one of the moons of Jupiter, which I misspoke. Yes, it's the moon of Jupiter, not Mars. He says, "Save me," and then there's a D there. He was saying Doctor Manhattan, so he's not the one. Doctor Manhattan is not the one that imprisoned him. I don't think. I think it's Lady True. Who do you think Lady True's father is going to be? It's going to be Osmandius. Yeah. Osmandius is Lady True's father, and she's the one that imprisoned him out there so that he can learn from the error of his ways. Her whole thing is about remember she was talking about nostalgia, that she was trying to use nostalgia to get people to uh not just relive their old memories, but get through them, their worst memories. And that's what she's doing with Osmandius is he still blames himself, of course. He chastises himself, I guess you could say, for killing all those people. And so why not just imprison him in a place that is a gilded cage, but also makes him think about all the shit that's been happening that he did so that he can get over it. Yeah, any thoughts on the elephant in the room? Good one, Pen. I have no idea what the fuck that was. I think that was just supposed to be a polar bear. It might have been a polar bear at one point, and they're like, "You know what? We used the polar bear already. Let's go with an elephant this time. Or maybe a giraffe. No, the elephant. Let's do with the elephant first. Because we've already used the polar bear and lost. Let's go with the elephant this time around." So yeah. Oh Good fucking lord. Yeah, this show's gone off the rails completely. Now it's just become just to see what the absurdity of it is, what the mystery box, the whole Millennium Clock Tower, what it's supposed to be, and who knows at this point? Who cares really? Um, yeah. Um, didn't want to compete with a polar bear and his dark materials. Could be, Pen. Could be. Yeah. Yeah. Is my image buffering for anybody else out there? Or I'm not having any problems on my end, is what I'm seeing. But hey, Kehoe. Yeah, it's I'm not sorry. No, I was gonna say I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Um, it's my opinion on this. If you love the show, great. I'm glad you guys love the show. More power to you. I'm not that person. I can't do it. Um, again, to take the Watchmen property and just do what you just did to this, just to say racism's bad, racism's bad. I know it's bad. Do a show that could highlight that without using Watchmen property to do it. So, oh man, I don't know. It only happens on Sunday nights, really? Maybe it's just all the people on the bandwidth or something like that on my end. Who knows? You shouldn't apologize for having an opinion if people don't share the same opinion. Yeah, I agree with you, Marks. I'm not apologizing for having the opinion. Um, I just, now that I found out what this show is about, I, I literally laughed. I laughed out loud when I had that when I had that realization as to what it was, and I'm like, "You're fucking kidding me. That's what it became out to be?" And, just the way June Crawford, the way she acted when she turned around, and it was almost like she was twirling her mustache when she turned around in the chair. "Well, that was our plan to begin with, but now it's changed." Mwahaha. And then when she had the problem with activating the trap door, I thought of fucking Mr. Burns from The Simpsons trying to use the trap door, and it wasn't working or it had moved. And yeah, it became a comedy of errors is what it became. It became, just comical at that point. And, yeah, I can't take the show seriously. I just cannot take the show seriously. Well, you heard something crash down below, but you know, the way June just kinda she calls him, goes, "So you want me to kill her? She came over. I dropped her through the trap door. I don't know if she's hurt or anything. She could just be down there looking around for the exit. But do you want me to just kill her now? I could just lean over with a gun and shoot her. What do you want me to do?" Yes, that's Columbo, by the way. Uh, kind of a bad Columbo, but yeah. Keo says, "Let's talk tech. Cinematography is amazing, is it not? What about the score?" Uh, yeah, the cinematography is good. The tech is great, but again, they're using HBO money. That's great. Um, but the thing again is they've wasted the whole Watchmen, franchise at this point. To tell this tale that they could have told. And like I said, I'm standing by it. I think it was supposed to be Confederacy that they rolled into this. Uh, I don't know. The story is just is Damon Lindelof. That's all I'm gonna say. The story is Damon Lindelof, whatever, however you pronounce his name. Give a sandwich and soup that's too hot just to slowly torture. Yeah, I know, really. Oh, maybe they're just gonna use the comfy pillows. They're gonna poke her with the comfy pillows. That's what they're gonna do. And I mean, Senator Keene too, when he exposes the entire operation to her or what they're gonna do, that, we're gonna make racist Supermen. And I was like, really? Really? You're gonna make racist Superman? There's two more episodes, Pen. 8 and 9. This was 7. But yeah, and I'm like, okay, so you're gonna become Dr. Manhattan. Do you need Dr. Manhattan in order to become Dr. Manhattan? And I don't know, Morks. I might just keep it the last 2 episodes just for the humor factor, to tell you the truth. Because I know it's just gonna end as a shit show. It really is. This whole season is supposed to be one complete season, and it's a complete story, supposedly, encapsulated story, I guess you could say. And I don't know. And what the fuck was up with Lady True collecting all of the prayers to Dr. Manhattan? What was that about? She never explained that, about why she has that room and, with listening to everybody's prayers, unless she's just listening to everyone's secrets. The Calvary isn't racist, though. They're marginalized. That's why Judd said he was trying to help. Uh no, they actually said they even said they're racist. They've been talking about this the entire season, that they're racist. So yeah. Yeah, and she just happened to pick Lori's prayer too. I know. I don't know, Pen. It's weird. Oh man. Well, it gives me hope that I could probably pitch something to HBO and get it made as well, if this is what they're gonna go with. Um, good God. Yeah. So with that said, I'm not looking forward to next week, quite honestly. I'm not looking forward to next week's Watchmen. I'm really not at this point. Um, okay, I was hate lurking, but wait, why the hell would Lori pray to Dr. Manhattan? Lori that used to date, well, she was calling him up to tell him jokes, is what she was doing. Yes, I'm sure more, because there's gonna be pitchforks incoming. Villagers with torches and pitchforks. So the heroes are broad brushing the cavalry and its nuance, but hey, I remember someone saying Austin Powers wasn't funny when I was a kid. Yeah, I like I said, Kehoe, it's a white person talking about racism, and like the analogy that I gave, it's kind of like getting the writers for Different Strokes and the Fresh Prince of Bel Air together in a room to write a series about racism. And by the way, like I said, those entire writing room people, they were all white, by the way, for both groups. So yeah. Why is it a cavalry with a K? It's supposed to be for the Ku Klux Klan Apple Crow. That's what it was supposed to be. It's supposed to be a reference to that. That's what they were before. So they turn into the Cyclops, then they turn into the Seventh Cavalry. That's what I got out of this episode, was that racism keeps living on, these groups keep living on, these hate groups live on. They just changed their names, but it's still the same hate that lives out there. Lex, I'm not talking about the Tulsa. I understand what happened with Tulsa, but the thing is, Lindelof just learned about Tulsa and decided that that's what he was going to base it on. And Yeah. I'm not gonna fuck off. You can go start your own channel and talk about stuff. So, yeah. Good God. Now that Lori knows Dr. Manhattan chose Angela over her, she'll finally be done with. And that's the other thing too is Dr. Manhattan was done with um people, is what he said. He was going off to a different galaxy to go and make start a new race essentially, or dabble in creating new life, is what he said. Why did he come back? Why did he, come back to Vietnam of all things? Um, are we ever going to find out about that since we only have 2 episodes left? So, there's a lot of things that just don't make any sense. I'd be curious to hear what Alan Moore Oh god, I'm sure Alan Moore could rant for hours about this series, and, I would love to watch his head explode, quite honestly, because I think that would actually be, some damn good programming right there. My biggest problem with Lindelof and a lot of the Lost alumni write things that make people feel like it's deeper than it really is. Did Lube Guy ever really go anywhere? No. Lube Guy, by the way, everyone keeps saying is Agent Petey. He went back to that cafe on 7th Street. Are you talking about, Doctor Manhattan? Possibly. Man. So, with that said, Lauren Mosley, if you're asking all these questions, why not wait? You're just hating things you do not understand. Yeah, I don't understand things, Lauren. I don't understand anything at all. Um, the thing is, it's a mystery box, Lauren. We're never gonna understand these things, and there's stuff that is. This is the way they actually write these mystery boxes. Is they throw stuff out there that has makes no sense whatsoever. It's like the elephant, like Penn was saying, the elephant in the room that was there that was hooked up to that Angela was hooked up to. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And yeah, I was trying to rationalize it at some point. I was trying to bring maybe there was some kind of order to it. There is no order to it. There is no reason. It's just thrown out there because they say, "Hey, this is cool." Then why not wait till the complete? I'm going to do the last 2 episodes of it, but I can guarantee you it's going to end messy. It's going to end very messy. And you're not going to get any answers to a lot of the questions that were deposited out there. Even on some of the smaller stuff too, you're not gonna. It was just thrown in there just for the hell of it. So exactly, HR, just spaghetti thrown at the wall. Lost was not a great show, Kehoe. I'm sorry. I don't consider it a great show. Uh, let me see. There's somebody else. I missed something there. Um, blah 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 blah. Okay. Kehoe Hooded Justice retconned original story was brilliant. It was good, but again, like I said, uh, I don't know if I want Watchmen retcon. I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, yeah. I don't know. So I'm not going to bag on any more than I already have. I'm already going to get enough downvotes on this as it is. I'm perfectly fine with that. Uh, I'm going to leave it as it is right now, since I'm probably going to get a whole bunch of hate comments as it is in here. And yeah, man, sorry. I'm just think back on this one. I didn't take any notes on this one. this time around either. I really didn't. I know it's just an opinion, Kehoe, but the thing is, people don't kind of separate opinions anymore from, uh, yeah, they think that their opinion should also be your opinion, and unfortunately, you can't have a conversation like that. Yeah, I have proof that your opinion isn't factual. Thanks, Apple Crow. Hopefully, it's got some really bad pictures and compromising positions too. That proof that you have. So if you like what you see here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you want to know when I'm beyond live again next, you can hit the bell down below. If you already hit the bell, don't hit it again. It will unclick it. You can go into the bell settings and get as many as little notifications as you want. Also, it's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you if when I'm on. If you really want to know when I'm on, just go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at my schedule up there. It's changed every Monday. It's also mirrored on my Facebook page if you have that. There's also a Facebook group page, Twitter, Instagram, and I have a Patreon page as well, but no tiers as of yet. If you're still on the fence about joining up at the very end of this video, there's going to be a video up here that takes the algorithm of all the stuff you've been watching and pops a video from my vast video library up there that matches as best as possible. Up here is going to be Mr. Robot. Let's see. Mork says I have a conversation with myself sometimes. I'm usually wrong. And Ejar says, write something new rather than retcon stuff, but they'd rather leech off the corpse of another. I agree with you on that. Nah, Hooded Justice was the only character that had room for retconning. I kind of vacillate back and forth on that one, Kehoe, as to, yes, I liked the story that they did. It was interesting, but at the same time, was it necessary to retcon a 30-year-old story that way? I kind of go back and forth on it. Yes, you can have two differing opinions within the same person about one thing. Yes, it does happen. So, I mean, they did a great job with that story about showing, racism. Um, and it was a powerful story. Granted, yes. Uh, yeah. So I don't know. Love the chat rollers. I don't know if it makes sense, Kehoe, because again, you could go back and say, the whole weightlifter thing. The what was it? The strongman that Mason Hollis said was actually the Hooded Justice. Um, that could make sense too. I don't know, but now they've retconned it into this. Yeah, it is what it is now at this point. Yeah. Rolf Muller could have been his replacement, maybe, possibly. Apple Crow says Tulsa race riots is an inspired idea for an origin of an African American superhero, but I don't believe it's Hooded Justice with Apple Crow. Well, the Tulsa race riots wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. And again, those riots were actually what kind of inspired Lindelof for this entire series to do this entire series. And I'm like, okay, so why did it have to be Watchmen? That's where I keep getting stuck, quite honestly. I'm like, where do you see that and say, hey, I'm gonna use Watchmen to shoehorn that in there? It didn't make any sense. It still doesn't make any sense to me. That's where I'm at on that. No, they didn't mention the Tuskegee Airmen at all. Yeah. Apple Crow, they did not. Um, yeah, exactly. Apple Crow. That was the other thing too. Yeah, Hooded Justice did. He was pretty shitty to Silk Spectre right after she got assaulted. Yeah, there was that as well. But anyway, going yeah, this episode, um, again, there's mystery box stuff that popped up. Um, there's shenanigans involved, like I said. Why is the 7th Cavalry why are they popping up and creating all these problems if they are having this plan to steal Dr. Manhattan's powers? Are they know he's in town? Why announce yourself so that people are going to come in and investigate this? It just doesn't make any sense. How do I rate this series until now? It's a That's a 5.5 out of 10, Pilo. Yeah, it's a 5.5 for me out of 10. And I'm talking about the entire series. That's where I'm going with right now. I'll even be generous. I'll bump it up. I'll say 6. How about that? 6 out of 10. And that's mainly because of the production value, quite honestly. It's the story writing that really kills it. The story writing kills it. Um, but the production value on it's awesome. I mean, they're doing great jobs with the sets, the costumes. But there's some stuff that just doesn't make any sense, quite honestly. And like I said, this episode was the one that kind of unraveled it all for me, and I was like, yeah, yeah. So yeah. With that said, I'm gonna let you guys go because I'm sure the pitchforks and the torches will come shortly to my door, and yeah, I think it's a trend to have a pretty show with a lackluster story. It's happened before, Morks. Some uh writers rest on their laurels even though they didn't earn them. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that one. And just continue to crank out the same kind of quality of show. Writing, I should say. Quality of writing, not quality of show. So thanks, Pila Pita. Uh I know there's gonna be a lot of people that are going to, of course, downvote and put a lot of hate stuff in the comments. Yeah, thanks. I'm ready for it. Again, for those of you out there who disagree with me and, all that kind of stuff, send me links to your channel pages so I can actually see what you're writing and what you're talking about too. Because I want to see different takes on this. If you guys are out there doing this kind of stuff and what you think of it, because maybe I'm wrong. Uh, wouldn't be the first time, but yeah, this is my opinion on this. Not really digging this. Um, like I said, I'm not digging it because of the Watchmen property being used this way. The story, I think, could have been done the same story could have been done, but I don't know. I don't know why they did it this way. What's the difference between a mystery box and an advent calendar? The person who made the calendar knows what's in it. uh, that's a good one, Apple Crow. That one is. Yeah, it really is. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining. For those of you joining me tonight in the chat, thank you if you made it this far in the video and have lit that torch on fire and have your pitchfork sharpened at the ready. Um, I'm gonna let you guys go. You'll see me tomorrow for his Dark Materials. I'm off Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday, I return for The Mandalorian and Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn, the animated Harley Quinn on DC Universe, by the way, is actually pretty damn funny. It's wrong in so many ways too. Saturday is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I talk about the genre news of the week and any of the genre stuff you guys want to talk about. And it wraps around again to Sunday to Mr. Robot and Watchmen. There we go. Thank you, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Excuse me. And I will what was that, Apple Crow? I'm pretty smart. That's why I watch Dennis. So you have to be very no, you don't. You really don't. Uh, Yadel Quetta Watchmen kind of reminds me of how Kubrick used The Shining as a vehicle for his own purpose. Yeah, I agree with you, Yadel. I totally agree with you on that. Um, there's something off on it. I can't quite put my finger on. And that's why I kind of come across as to there's too many different things competing in my mind that want to get out. And that's why I seem like I'm stuck on some of the stuff that I'm talking about. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find out the batteries to your remote control from your 70s remote control is dead and your trap door doesn't work. Talk to you later, everybody. Have a good night.